Okay, pretty wild day for SMCI after S&P 500 inclusion news, which is going to take place 18th of March. That's when it will be. That's when it will start trading in S&P 500. But until then, this stock is in Russell 2000. So if you're not familiar, well, even MSTR, MicroStrategies, these two names, in my opinion, for the past 2-3 weeks, if you take a look at the IWM, they have been running the IWM. So I'm not thinking that the broad rotation into small caps coming in, people basically throwing money, very selective names. And MSTR, right after market close, they announced what? Senior notes, convertible senior notes, 600 million due to 2030. So yeah, at the top of its, basically it made all-time highs. MicroStrategy, yeah, it's not really large of a cap. What is it, 10 billion right now at this price? No, it's 22 billion right now. But still, relatively, well, twice smaller than SMCI, and they did offering. They raise money, they raise funds. So, and I'm gonna be watching. Well, let's back to SMCI. I did grab in this fade. So the point is, as soon as it started fading, IWM, Russell 2000, the entire index closed negative because of these two names pulling back. So as I saw this tried to decline, I'm like, maybe, well, since it has that big of a range, I went very far outside of the money. 800, 820 put spread. I bought just one contract just for fun, just to watch it, just to have fun with it. I don't care if I lose 50, 60 bucks on this one, because contracts are insanely expensive. If you take a look at the put to call ratio, 244,000 calls were traded, 168,000 puts were traded. And if you take a look at there's just orders, there were a lot of puts were coming in the morning. Like I was seeing 800 calls, 900 puts, by the way, and not really naked. They're all spreads because implied volatility. Look at it. Stock just this week alone is implying that it can move $142 plus or minus. And today alone, it's 18%. That's a pretty big move. And average true range jumped to $94. So any given day, you can expect the stock to move up 10% or down 10%. So for day traders, yeah, it's a heaven, right? They love it when volatility is there, especially people who are trading with shares. Liquidity is there. You can size in, get out. But when it comes to options, you got to be very careful because it's very, very pricey. Just to show couple spreads or just nakeds that were bought, or just the pricing, right? If you think that this stock is going to go to, let's say, $1,500 by next week, by the end of next week, $40 somebody paid. That's almost like for 100 contracts paying $400,000 on a weekly contract. That's crazy. So you got to be very careful. My support for the stock right here, right now, 1045, which I was watching pre-market as a resistance. It did get back above it. And then 1080, which was all-time highs. It got back above it. And all-time highs right now, 1155. Came down to test this level. But I don't know if it's going to fill this gap of 900. But that's why I opened that put spread, thinking that if it does breach 1045 for the next few days, it can very well test this 900, and it would be a great opportunity to get out. But I'm watching the stock from here just to take a break, maybe even just chop around, kill premium. But if it opens lower yesterday, if it opens, tomorrow, if it opens 1045, anywhere below 1050, I'm going to be watching to test 1,000, below 1,000. It can actually, just like this, where it had, it was nothing for it to drop 30% in, like 35% in 2 trading sessions. Why not here, right? Despite the S&P inclusion, what is it? Is it adding any value to company? no, nothing is being added like intrinsically to companies' business at all. So those are the levels I'm watching for SMCI. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.